I went through early menopause when I was just 28, and I've been dealing with the effects of that for a couple years. Early menopause is any menopause that starts before the age of 40. The average age of menopause in the United States is 52. I've always had an irregular period. When it started when I was 11, it would be really heavy for 2 weeks at a time. Then it would stop and then come back again in 2 weeks. So it wasn't every 28 days like it was supposed to be. As I got older, towards high school, it would just be like a month and a half to 3 months. It would come and not come. So I was used to things being weird with my cycle. When I was in college, it kind of evened out. But college is when I started having cramps. They were insane. It was like not just abdomen, it was my back, my legs, my arms, and I had really intense migraines with aura. Maybe a year or so after college, it went back to being light and just whenever it wanted to be. So I was like, this is just how my period is, whatever. And I didn't really think anything of it. And I was like, well, it's light, so I don't care, just whatever. And I think it's important to say that I was never on any sort of birth control, so that wasn't messing with my hormones. It was just my body being crazy. The last time I remember having a period was when I was 28, February of that year. I was 28 years old. And then later on in the fall, it started getting cold. So the first night I turned the heat on, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like just sweating buckets. And I'm like, this is weird. But I was like, it's just too hot in here. The next night, the same thing happened. I was like, I'll just sleep with less blankets on. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I was afraid that someone had broken into my apartment and stabbed me, because I was like, there is so much liquid on my body, I might be lying in a pool of blood. It was insane, and I was like, what's happening? I was like, do I have a fever? Then it happened again, and it happened for 4 to 6 months. I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, maybe I'm going through early menopause, and she was like, no, because she didn't, and none of the women in my family did, to my knowledge. During this time, I had gone to an OBGYN and I was telling her like some weird things had been happening. She made a statement and she said she had to use the smallest speculum because one of the things that happens during and after menopause is tightening. But she was really dismissive. She wouldn't take me seriously. She didn't ask me any follow-up questions. She didn't want to hear any of my questions. I was like, okay, well, this is not helpful. So I kind of just let it go. Cut to a couple months later, then I start noticing my skin is drier than normal. And again, I attribute it to being, it's winter, so it's cold, the air is dry, that's all it is. Then I started experiencing some joint pain. This isn't normal, but I'm a really active person. So I was like, oh, I just like took too many classes that day, or I ran too far, whatever. And the thing that really let me know that this is probably definitely menopause is I started gaining weight in ways that I hadn't before. I've had a really fast metabolism my whole life, and then it got to a point where I just like would gain weight, and it took me so long to get it off or even like maintain a weight that I was happy with. And so then I went and did a ton more research, and I was like, oh no, I definitely have experienced menopause, and it's been over a year. If you have gone more than 12 months without a period, then you've had menopause. And I went to a couple of other doctors and I was like, hey, this is what's going on with me. I have a history of autoimmune disease with myself and my family. Maybe can we look into this? Can we talk? I'm like, no. Just dismissing me and not taking me seriously. They wouldn't run any tests. I really think that's because of the bias against Black women in the medical community, because it happened 3 different times. And I still haven't been formally diagnosed, but I know this is what's happened to me, and it has been a little bit crazy. So being in my early 30s, going through, well, 20s when it happened, but 30s now, was a really strange experience. There was a point when I was gaining weight and I was really depressed because I just felt like my body didn't look the way that I wanted to. I felt like I wasn't in the best shape that I could be in, so I really didn't like to go out. And I know that sounds like the skinny person in the support group on This Is Us, but it was so different for me that I was like, I don't want to wear any clothes because all my jeans were too tight, and I just felt like all I could wear were sweatshirts, and it was just like, oh, I have no control over myself anymore. And then when I tried to talk to medical professionals and they didn't believe me or want to talk to me, that was frustrating because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy and I'm not making this up. These things are happening. On the plus side, I really do not want kids. So a lot of people would be upset about that. I know a lot of women who, if they have some sort of reproductive health issue, they would have to go through in vitro and all those things, so I won't worry about that. It's weird to know that it's not an option at all. So some women choose to do hormone replacement therapy while or after they've gone through menopause because when the estrogen leaves your body, you are at higher risk for osteoporosis and heart disease and stroke. So there's all these reasons why you would want the estrogen to be there or at least be mimicked. I haven't done it because no doctors have entertained me about what's going on with me. It's okay because there's a lot of controversy about it. So I did a lot of research. So I've taken black cohosh instead for the past few years. It's the root of this herb. It just kind of works with your body and you're less at risk for those things. And I've just been really vigilant about my health. I've been drinking water and exercising and just being kind of mindful and trying not to do as many things as I used to do, or at least be careful of my knees because I love to run and stuff like that, which is ridiculous hearing me say, but I mean, I've just decided I have to take care of myself because I'm the only one who's gonna do it. One of the stigmas about menopause is that you're no longer a real woman when you can't produce a child. And I obviously don't believe that, but it's something that I haven't really talked with a lot of people about because I know they'll think of me differently. I don't want kids for a plethora of reasons. But now there's the added fact of I can't have them. A lot of men will kind of be like, oh no, you can't catch menopause. It's you're fine. And it's an interesting thing to kind of navigate when I'm meeting someone new. When do I say that? Oh, by the way, can't have any children. And they're did you think we were gonna have some? No, I didn't, but I'm just letting you know. So one of the things that has come out of this is I've been a lot more self-sufficient, so much more aware of how my body is in the world. Because all this has happened, I've missed out on all the, menstrual activism with the Thinx panties and the eco-friendly tampons. But the plus side is I don't have a period anymore. So I don't have to spend tons of money every month on those products. There is a silver lining, and I think everything is bearable if you just do your research and have positive people around you. So, but also no periods.